Before we begin our class, first tell me how many chapters in science have been done in your school?
Yes, sir. Now we are doing chapter number 11. No, chapter
Now
number 12.
you are doing chapter number 12. Before chapter number 12 up to chapter
Like we
number
started
11
now.
you have done. You started?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I'm asking that before chapter 12, all the chapters have been done before this chapter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Okay, very good. All right. All right. Is PPT visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we
Like
are going to do,
no, sir. No, sir.
not
No,
visible.
sir. It went. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes. It's visible
Yes.
now. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible. Just let me get it full screen in full screen. Yeah. Okay, there's some issue here. Okay, as soon as I'm
No,
exiting the full screen, the PPT
sir.
is stopped.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, we will continue like this. Okay. All right. So up till you are doing chapter 2 in your school, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So today we will begin with our very first chapter, that is crop production and management. Right.
Yes, sir.
We will do revision work first, and then we will catch up with your syllabus. Okay. So you see crop production and management. This is your first chapter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first tell me, what do you mean by the word crop here?
Yes, sir. Um, when the plants, when plants of the same kinds of
Yeah.
plants cultivated in large scale is called crop.
Yeah. What happens when a same kind of plant is cultivated on
Say
a
is
large piece of
cultivated
land? It is called
in a large scale of a land is called crop.
exactly. If I have got a piece of land and on a large scale I grow wheat on it,
Yes, sir.
wheat plants on it, so that will be called wheat crop.
Co- Wheat crop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is the paper visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now you see, to do farming, we have got certain agriculture practices. And you
Yes, sir.
see, first we need to prepare our soil before we actually sow the seeds. Okay. So the preparation of soil is necessary so that when we plant some crops in them, we can get enough amount of yield from that land. All right. So the
Yes, sir.
preparation of soil is very necessary. First, we have to make the soil fertile, loosen it, add manures to it. Okay. So then what we will discuss each steps in detail. Just I'm giving you a
Yes, sir.
crux of it. So then sow the soil on the piece of land.
Yes,
After sowing, you see seed needs fertility. They need nutrients to grow. So then we add
yes,
manures and fertilizers. Okay. So you see our seedlings, our small crops also need water to survive. So we irrigate the land as well. And after that, we provide we you see we remove the weeds from them. You see what are the weeds?
yes, sir.
What are the weeds?
Sir, wheats.
Yeah, what are the weeds? You see, weeds are what? They are unwanted plants on our
Yes,
land. Unwanted
yes,
plants. So you see, along with our main crops, there are some wild plants that grow on the land. So you see that needs to be removed from the land. So that the process of removing is called weeding. You
Yes.
see, after we have done all this, our when our crop is has grown to certain height and has started bearing fruits or grains, we need to harvest them. We need to cut them. All
Yes.
right. So after harvesting, what happens?
Uh, we
Threshing.
threshing. Yes.
Yeah, threshing. You see, after we have harvested or cutted our crops, we need to separate the seed from its seed coat. We need to separate the seed from seed coat. All right.
Sequel.
Yeah. So now after threshing, we need to store our surplus amount of seeds as well. So the last process is called storage. So you see,
Storage.
we are going to discuss them in brief. Each step we will discuss. First, we will let's get a look at what we are going to revise in this chapter.
Yes.
You must have already studied this chapter. You see,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
agriculture practices. So what are the basic practices of crop production? You see, the first basic product process is what? We need to prepare our soil. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and for that purpose, we need certain agricultural implements,
Yes.
right? Then after sowing is done, yeah,
Sowing.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
and we need to select good seeds only for sowing. You see, damaged seeds
Yes.
should not be planted. Okay. And manure and fertilizers are also added. And we will also take a look at what are the differences between a fertilizer and manure. You know about
Yes.
fertilizer and manure, what are their purpose, right?
Yes, sir.
What are they?
Mm,
Water fertilizers?
water fertilizer. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are the fertilizers? You see, fertilizers are
like the
basically those
substances
substances.
which are added to soil and in the like
Yeah,
form of nutrients
exactly.
for
They are
the
nutrients.
healthy
Yeah,
growth
for the healthy growth of
for
the
the
plant.
of the plant.
Exactly, exactly. And we will also discuss about irrigation. Irrigation is what? Simply it is watering the plants.
Watering the plants.
Yeah, watering plants. Okay. Now we will also look at differences between fertilizers and manure, how they are
Manure.
different. Because both are serving the same purpose of providing nutrient to the soil, yet they are different. And we will also take a look at what were the traditional methods of irrigation. You see, nowadays we have evolved new innovative methods to provide water to the plant. But in old ages, there was traditional methods of irrigation. We will also take a look at that. And we will
Yes,
also
sir.
see what are the modern methods of irrigation. Can you name two of the modern methods of irrigation?
Yes, sir. A hoe and a plow.
Yeah, what are they? Yeah,
Uh, like no, the and they are
modern methods of irrigation.
modern methods. And there are other methods like sprinkle systems,
Yeah,
drip
very good.
systems, sir.
Sprinkler and drip
Sprinkler and drip.
irrigation.
Yes, sir.
Drip irrigation. Right. All right. So we will also take a look at how to protect our plants from weeds. Okay. And how harvesting is done and how storage is done. Okay. And apart from plants, we also get food from animals as well. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay then. So first, the very first thing is the preparation of soil. You see, ploughing. What
Yes.
is ploughing?
Uh, Fluffing the like
You see, you must have
mm,
seen in
it's
fields
like
that farmer uses buffaloes, yeah,
yes, sir.
to run a structure like this. You see, you must have seen a structure like this,
Yes, sir.
wooden
Yes, sir.
structure. It is pointed at one side and has got metal attached to it. Okay,
Yes.
so this structure, this wooden structure is called what? It's called plough.
Plow.
Yeah, and this is here is metal. On its tip, there's a metal thing attached. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this plough is carried by buffaloes, and when it is carried across the piece of land, it simply erodes the land. Okay. Suppose if we have got a land that is the surface is very hard. You see, if the surface is very hard, seeds cannot be planted on that hard surface because you see the seeds will lay on the that
Yes,
hard
sir.
surface and it certainly will be blown away by wind or eaten away by some animals. So we need to loosen this
Yes,
soil.
sir.
Okay. So what does ploughing do? It is a traditional method,
It's a traditional method. Uh,
traditional method
Losing the soil, sir.
to loosen the soil, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So you see, even after ploughing, you see, you will see big chunks of soils. You see, let's say this is a ploughed piece of land. Ploughing has been done. Ploughing has been done
Yes,
on
sir.
this piece of land. Even after that, you will
Yes,
see there are bigger chunks of soil left. So what farmers
yes,
now
sir.
do? They get a large and heavy piece of timber. You know, timber, wood,
Uh,
a
no, sir.
large block of wood is called timber. Okay,
Oh,
timber what? A
a
large
large block of wood.
block of wood. So this timber is simply there's are two ropes attached on its two ends, and it is being carried by a buffalo or some animal.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Yes.
so it is run
Yes, sir.
across this field, and simply this heavy timber will crush down these bigger chunks of soil.
Uh, Bigger chunks of soil.
Yeah. So this process is what happens in this process. The soil gets ripped. Just a minute.
The
Just
soil is.
just a hold for a second. Someone's on the door. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. You see what is happening? Uh, so
Yes, sir.
you see when this heavy timber is run across this piece of land, it will simply crush down the bigger chunk of soil,
Yes, sir.
and our the level of the soil is now even. Okay.
Now,
Yeah. All right. So after we have done ploughing and manuring
manual.
and leveling, we need to add manures. You see,
Yes, sir.
manures. Manures are added
Yes, sir.
after ploughing and leveling.
After sloughing and leveling.
Yeah. All right. Okay then. So you see, in place of manures, fertilizers can also be added. All right.
Yes, sir.
So let's take a look at how this manure and fertilizer looks. Just take a quick look at this too. You see, look at this. This
Yes, sir.
here blue ball like structure is called fertilizer.
Manual. Bird fertilizer.
Not all the fertilizers look like this. This is just an example of a fertilizer. And here you can see this is you can easily guess it is what?
Manual.
Manure. All right. Okay then. So you see, after we have prepared our soil, now what we need to do? We need to sow the seed in the soil.
So the seed.
Yeah. All right. Okay then. So you see, sowing the seeds has also got certain methods. In ancient times when the technology was not very much evolved, you see there were
Yes, sir.
farmers adopted very simple methods of sowing the seed. They usually used to spread the seed by hands. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so the first traditional method was by hand. Sowing was done
By
by
hand.
hand. Okay, now another traditional method was using funnel. You see, these funnel-like structures were used. Okay,
Yes.
you see, this is a funnel, and this container is containing seeds. Okay, so seeds were put in this funnel. Okay, and
Yes.
it like this they spread the soil on the land. Okay, now the modern scientists evolved this tractor. What they did, on the back of the tractor they attached the seed drill. This structure is called what? Seed drill. You see,
Seed.
yeah, look at this. This structure has got seeds in them, and pipe why this pipe? Let me draw a diagram for this so that we may get a
Yes,
clear
sir.
idea. See what is happening. They have got a structure like this. You see, they put it seeds in it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this was basically what? Just like this.
Seed drill.
Seed drill. So pipes were attached here, and this pipe is
Yes, sir.
carrying the seeds. You see, and this what do you say? The seed drill is being carried by a tractor. It's being carried
By
by
tractor.
tractor. All right. Okay, that's a rough diagram. All right. Okay. So this is how the seeds are sown, either by hand or by the traditional way in which they use
Uh,
the funnels, or
yes,
the
sir.
modern method is seed
Or
drill.
the bottom of seed drill.
Yeah. So you see, when the seeds are sown, we need to be careful of few things. Okay. We need to be careful of few things. Like what? Seed
Uh,
should not be sown very deep.
yes, sir.
If we sow the seed very deep, what will happen?
Like
It will not get enough
it
amount of
will.
air. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and the seed may even die. If this is a piece of
Yes.
land, and if I put the seed here, okay, what will happen? The air and the sunlight and the another things will not eat this seed,
Yes.
and it will not germinate properly. So we need
Yes, sir.
to put the plant, sow the seed at adequate height.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this seed drill ensures that this seed drills puts the seed exactly at the right depth. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So you see, after sowing, what happens? Usually you will see in plants like rice. You see,
Yes, sir.
rice is what? They are paddy crops.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What happens? First, they are grown on a nursery, just like how a children first goes to nursery where he is nurtured, all right, and taken great care of. Okay, so in a nursery, in what happens? Let's say we have a piece of land over here. Okay, Riyaz. So
Yes, sir.
in this rice, crops are planted first. Okay, so and they are provided with sufficient amount of nutrient and are great care
Great.
taken great care. So
Yes,
they
sir.
are supplied with sufficient amount of nutrients, sufficient amount of
Nutrients
water, sunlight, and air. Okay.
and
And what happens after they have grown to heights like this? You see, this farmer is cutting down the seeds, the seedlings.
yes, sir.
Okay. So you what happens? After they have grown to a certain good height, they are cutted off. You see, at this stage, this grown rice plant is called seedling, or any another plant which are cultivate, which are grown like this is called seedling. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, seedlings are small plants. Seedlings are what they are? Small plants.
Not plan.
Yeah. So what happens? Now we move all our seedlings to a bigger piece of land and we plant them there. You see what is happening here? Just like an organ is planted from one body to another body, similarly, the seedling is transplanted from the nursery to another field, another piece of land here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Any or shall I explain transplanting again? Yes, Riyaz, what is transplanting?
Yes, sir. We are transforming that. We are taking that plant to the another field.
Yeah, first we grew our plants in a smaller
Yes, sir.
piece of land that we call as
Yes, sir.
nursery. Okay.
Nursery. Yes, sir.
And
It grows in nursery,
yeah, after
and then
yeah, and then that plant is uprooted from there and grown on a larger piece of land.
grow in
So
large
this
field.
whole process is called transplanting.
Transplanting.
Okay then. Yeah, so that was about how the seeds are sown. Okay. All right. All right. So you see, uh, we were discussing about preparation of soil. One thing was left here that you see, there are modern methods of bluffing also. There are modern
Yes,
methods
sir.
of loosening the soil also. What are they?
S-
Modern methods. Yeah. Can you think of how machines are today used to loosen the soil? You see, we have got what?
yes, sir.
We have cultivators.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So nowadays we have got cultivators. Cultivators are basically, you see, if you see a tractor, if you see a tractor, let's say this is a tractor. So on their back, they have got this hook-like structures attached. You must have seen that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this tractor attached with this hook-like structure is basically called cultivators. Okay.
Cultivate.
So obviously modern methods for loosening the soil are much more efficient because in a short span of time, large piece of land can be cultivated here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right then. All right. Okay then. So now you see what happens after we have sown the seeds and we discuss all this process of how the modern methods have evolved and what were the traditional methods as well and how transplanting is done. We have got what? Just let me go to the is the slide visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after we have sown the seeds, now we need to provide them with water as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you see, even providing water has got its various ways. Like in the first
Yes, sir.
figure, here you can see how early farmers and even in some parts today, farmers use traditional methods to irrigate their land.
Yes, sir.
You see, in the first picture, you can see that here is a farmer who is taking water from this well by
Yes,
the
sir.
Dhekli method. So what happens in Dhekli method? Here, a wooden stick or usually a bamboo is attached. Okay, it
Yes.
is attached on a solid support here. It is a solid support, and on the one end we have attached rock. So
Yes,
obviously
sir.
this end is going to be heavier. So this is always going to be downwards, like in the figure you can see. On the another
Yes, sir.
end, we have got some water source, like here we have got well,
Yes,
and
sir.
at this end we have attached a bucket. All right. So you can see that this farmer is what he is doing. He is pulling down this digly. He is pulling down this digly. So when
Yes,
this
sir.
will be lowered down, when this bucket will be lowered down in the well, it will automatically fill up with water,
Leave the
and by
water
weight,
and
and once he leaves this rope,
leave the.
once leave,
Yes, sir.
it will rise up.
Yes, sir. To
So
come up.
this system is daily. Another one is chain pump.
Chin
You
pump.
see, this is the chain pump. What is happening here? Closely observe this figure. What can you observe? How this system is working?
Mm, so like I can understand the.
Okay, no issue. You see what is happening here? Here we have got a well, and
Yes,
there's
sir.
a circular structure. You can see circular wheel. This is a what? This is a wheel here.
Wheel.
Okay. And on wheel, you can see this blue structure. These are buckets attached to it.
Yes, sir.
These are the buckets attached. And this wheel is being rotated by a motor. Okay. So what
Yes,
happens
sir.
when this wheel will rotate? You see, and this is our well here. This is a well. And you see, so this has got buckets attached on it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
buckets attached on it. All right. So what happens when this wheel is rotated by a motor? It is being rotated by
Yes, sir.
a motor. What will
Motor.
happen as it rotates? These buckets will fill up, and eventually the waters will fall down this structure. And here you can see it is reaching the crop field. You see,
Yes, sir.
it is rotating, it is carrying the water from the well, and this water is going to the cropland here.
Going to the profile.
And similarly, if you take a look at the mode pulley system, it is also very simple. Here, simple method
Yes,
of
sir.
pulley, here simply pulley is being used. You see, in the well you have got pulleys attached to them. You see, pulleys are attached, and our
Yes, sir.
rope is looped down into the well, and from the another end we are pulling that rope. That's a very simple
Yes.
method. So mode pulley system is used, and the another one is what, rahat. It is also called lever
Ra.
system.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So this is a wooden structure. You see, you can see the only above part here. Inside the soil, there's an enhanced mechanic system, and when this structure is being rotated by this buffalo, this
Yes, sir.
you see, it is simple like the chain pump here. Instead of a motor here, this wheel is being rotated by a buffalo here. That's the only difference between chain pump and rahat.
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we use motors to rotate the wheel, and here we used buffalo or any kind of it.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Now take a look at the modern methods of irrigation.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are they? Observe these. See, we already know about drip and sprinkler
Drip
system.
and sprinkler system. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And there are two other methods as well, furrow and basin.
Basin.
Yeah. You see, here we have got a structure like this. It has got certain holes in it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it is simply powering the water between the rows here. Okay. Another one is what? Basin.
Basin.
So as per your syllabus, you have got only drip and sprinkler system. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
remember these two. All right. So if we talk about the difference between the manures and fertilizers, you will see. You tell me, what are the difference between manure and fertilizer?
Mm,
Think of few differences. Yes, Riyaz.
mm, sir. Don't know.
You don't know. You see,
Yes, sir.
just a minute. Okay. See, fertilizers are made in factories. Fertilizers,
Are made in factories.
yeah, they are made in factories.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you talk about manures, manures are made in fields. Manures are made in fields.
Made in fields.
Okay. Now the one of the basic difference lies in their procedure of production. You see, fertilizers are made in big factories or in laboratories.
Or laboratory.
See, so laboratory is a place where you see chemical substances are produced, and
Yes, sir.
how the manures are produced. You see, what the farmers do, they simply dig a pit. This is a, let's say, on the ground. This is a ground, and they dug a pit. They have dug a pit here. What they do, they put all the organic waste in it. They are putting
Yes, sir.
all the organic waste in it. Now, to understand the organic waste, you need to know the term organic. What is organic? You see, whatever is associated with life. You see, organic is what?
Like
That comes from living.
that
That
comes from
comes
living.
from living being.
Living being.
Yeah. So it may either come from plants or it may either come from animals. Yeah. So if you talk about plants, what can be they? They can be fruits, they can be vegetables, they
Yes.
can be fruit peels or vegetable peels or dead
Yes,
plants
sir.
or dead leaves. Yeah. Or if you talk about
Yes, sir.
animals, it can be
Yes, sir. It can.
animal poo like cow dung. Yeah. Or it can be dead animal. All right. So you
Yes,
see,
sir.
when we have got these organic materials, you see what we do, we dug a pit and put all this organic waste in it. We have put in all these organic
Okay.
waste like the fruit peels, vegetable peels, animal poo like cow dung or any other dead animals in a pit. We cover it and left it for a month,
Yes,
for a
sir.
month, or in some cases for a few weeks only. Okay. So what happens
Yes,
after
sir.
certain times, you will obtain manure. You see, it will decompose, it will degrade, and in the end, you will be left with a thing in the bottom, and that thing is called manure. And
Yes, sir.
this manure is very rich in nutrients. So now explain me, what is the procedure of manure production? How the farmers do this?
Manuals like sir, it's manure is an organic substances, and manure is like obtained by decomposition of
Decomposition of and
animals, plants, and human waste, like
exactly
prepare
animals,
in
plants, and
fields
human waste.
and
Yeah,
provide humus to the soils.
humans to the soil. Okay.
Yes, sir, humus to the soils,
Now tell
and
me, if you talk about the humus, what is humus actually? What is humus?
yes, sir.
What are the humus? You see, we're
Uh,
talking about that they add humus to the soil, but we also need to know that what exactly is humus. You
yes,
see,
sir.
inside the soil, we have got certain microbes living in the soil. In the soil, we have got
Yes,
what?
sir.
Certain microbes. Microbes live in the soil.
Microbes.
Microbes or insects, and there are
Yes, sir.
earthworms as well, and many other. and other living beings
Yes, sir.
in the soil. You see. So living beings like insects, earthworms, and other living beings in the soil or any microorganisms that live inside the soil, they are collectively called humus. Okay.
Humans.
And humus is actually very good for soil. One may ask how. You see, earthworms are generally called farmer's friend. Earthworms are called farmer's friend.
Our
Why
best
is it
friend.
so? Why is it so? You see,
Mm,
plant needs certain basic things to grow healthy. A plant needs what? Air
uh,
and
air, water,
water,
and sunlight.
sunlight. You see, this sunlight is required by the leaves only. The water is required by all parts of the plant.
Yes.
Air is required also by all parts of the plant. So the
Yes.
so you see shoot and root as well. You know about shoot and root system? Yeah,
But,
shoot and root system. What are they? Okay, no issue. You see,
mm,
whatever the part of the plant lies above the soil, listen to this very carefully. Whatever
yes, sir.
part of the plant is lying above the soil is simply called shoot system.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about the root system? Whatever the part of the plant lies beneath the soil is called root system.
Root system.
Okay. So we were talking about how earthworms are farmers' friend. You see,
Yes, sir.
when the earthworm moves inside the soil, this is, let's say, this is soil. When this earthworm will locomote and move inside the soil, it will create holes in it. Okay, there will be
Yes.
holes in the soil. You see, they make holes in the soil. You see, like these holes. So air will pass inside this hole, and the roots will get them. You see, if a earthworm is moving near this
Yes.
near this plant, what will it do? It will create holes. It will create holes, and air will move inside this hole, and this air will be taken up by the root. You can understand it like this. So that's
Yes,
how
sir.
they are called farmer's friend.
Farmers
Any
friend.
confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. So so as I asked you about the shoot system and root system, you need to know about them very well. You see, because these are the very basic things. If I talk about this shoot system, because now you see we are discussing about crop production and management. Crop is what? You know that any plant grown on a large scale. Now, if I
Yes,
ask
sir.
what is plant, what are the parts of the plant? You must be able to tell me. You see,
Yes, sir.
if I have got a plant over here, it has got certain parts. This is a, let's say, plant.
Yes, sir.
This is what? A stem.
Stem.
Okay. This is
Leaves.
what?
Yes, sir.
Root. Or if I draw
Root.
a more better diagram, you see,
Yes, sir.
plant has got branches. Okay. This plant have got what? Flowers.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Flower.
Leaves,
Leaves.
and there are birds as well. BUDS, not BIRDS. Birds,
Yes.
what? Leaves,
Yes, sir.
flowers,
And, and
and these
stems.
are what? Branches
Branches.
and the stem. These are the parts that lie above the soil. Now
Yes, sir.
there's another world inside the soil also of the plant. Okay, inside the soil, what lies? Roots basically.
Root. Yes, sir.
Basically, root lies inside the soil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see. whatever part of the plant lies inside the soil that we call as
Root, like lice.
like that we call as root system.
Root system.
Yeah. And I just talked minutes ago that whatever the part lies above the soil, that is called
Shoot. Shoot
that's called
system.
shoot system. Okay, that's called
Yes,
what?
sir.
Shoot system.
Shoot system.
Okay. Now you can frame the definition of shoot system, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So give me examples of its parts. What are the parts of the shoot system? Quickly tell me.
Flower, branches, stem, birds,
Flower,
leaves.
flower, birds, stems, branches, and leaves.
Yes, sir. Branches and yes, leaves.
Exactly. And the root system only contains roots only, usually.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So we were talking about the difference between the manures and fertilizers. This topic came, so I thought let's discuss this as well. Okay, the root and shoot system. Okay. So one is made in factory
And what
or
is
laboratory,
yes, sir.
and it is usually manufactured at what? Commercial level.
Yes,
Commercial
sir.
level, what it means? That it is produced at a large level. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And one can be produced in fields. All right.
Yes, sir.
And they are usually produced for domestic consumage. They
That
are
is
produced at domestic level. You see, domestic what means at a smaller level.
yes, sir. Small
All
level.
right. Okay. So you see, fertilizers are highly enriched with nutrients.
Yes, sir.
Highly enriched with nutrients.
Yes, sir.
And if we talked about humus, they are low in nutrients. Low
Yes.
in
Nutrients.
low in nutrients. Okay. They are basically low in nutrients. So far, these are the important things. These are the important difference between fertilizers and manures.
Menu.
All right. So you see, sorry about that. You see, if we use fertilizers in excessive amount, there are certain disadvantages of it as well. You see, if we use excessive fertilizers, what will happen? Excessive fertilizers use, what will it do to the soil? You see what happens. Now you think of this first. What will the excessive use of fertilizers do? Remember very carefully that fertilizers are basically what? Chemicals. They are not organic substances.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And chemicals have got adverse effect on life. Okay. Excessive
Yes, sir.
use can be dangerous, can be lethal for life. So in what ways it will affect the soil and life?
Uh, mm,
Yes, Riyaz.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, can you think of the reason how it damages the soil and the life? You see what happens. We just talked that inside the soil there are living beings like microbes, insects.
yes, sir.
Yeah, microbes, insects, and worms. You see,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes.
these living beings are good for soil. They are
Yes, sir.
good for soil.
Yes,
So
sir.
what happens if we we continuously use fertilizers, excessive amount of fertilizer is used, what will happen? They will kill these
Yes.
humus. You see, excessive fertilizers kill humus.
Humus.
Yeah, because they are chemical substances.
Chemical substances.
Yeah. One another thing can happen that you see if I use excessive amount of fertilizers on a piece of land, what will happen when there's rainfall, you see, when there's rainfall and this piece of land has got excess amount of fertilizer, what will happen? It will simply run off and will and the fertilizer, the chemicals will run out near in the nearby pond and will
Yes, sir.
and it will damage the aquatic life of the pond. You see
Yes, sir.
what is happening here actually when we add excess amount of fertilizer in our land and that is not required, that excess amount of fertilizer is not required by the land, what will happen eventually? If
Yes,
there's
sir.
a rainfall, this fertilizer will run off via small rivers or small channels and it will eventually go into a pond or, or nearby lake and it will damage the aquatic life.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first reason is what? Aquatic life is damaged.
Yes.
Aquatic life of water bodies is damaged. Is damaged. What will happen? All the fishes living in that pond or
Yes.
another living beings will eventually die.
Yes,
And
sir.
the another will
That.
be, as we discussed, that humus lost.
Yes,
Humus
sir.
is lost.
No.
Okay. So these are the pretty good reasons of why we shouldn't use fertilizers in excessive amount. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now if I have
Uh,
got a piece of
Wait.
land and yeah, okay, okay.
I will come in a minute.
Uh, yes, Riyaz. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you see, if the excessive amount of fertilizers used have already done damage to this piece of land, okay, this is piece of land where the humus has been killed now. The humus has been lost. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the method to improve the condition of the soil now? Eventually, what will we do? Think of the answer. What has to be done now?
Uh,
Yeah. Now farmers, what will they do? Just recall what we just discussed. We are talking about fertilizer versus manure, right?
yes, sir.
And manures are rich in humus. You see, we
Yes, sir.
already discussed. So we will add humus to the soil. You see,
Yes, sir.
so we will add manures to the soil. So humus loss will be regained. Okay,
Yes,
humus is added. Humus is added. All right. So this humus now brings back the lost humus. I mean, not humus. Actually, it is manure. Okay, because the manure contains humus, right?
yes, sir.
Okay then. So I have got few questions for you from NCERT textbook. Okay, now tell me if I have got uh, if you see the same kind of plants are grown and cultivated on a large scale at a place, it is called what?
Crop.
It is called crop. Very good.
Crop.
Now, what is the first step before growing crop? What we need to do
Uh,
before we grow the crop?
Preparation of soil
Yeah, exactly. We need to prepare our soil. Preparation of soil
and
is done.
selection of soil, sir. Because
Selection of what?
uh, soil, like seeds.
Riyaz, check your network connection. It's not stable. What you were saying?
Yes, sir. Selection of seeds, sir.
Yeah, we need to select good seeds. And
Yes,
nowadays
sir.
we have got
It cannot be
hybrid
broken.
seeds.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays we have got hybrid seeds. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you see, if I have got a damaged seed, you see, which is eaten up by insect. Let's say I have this here. This is a healthy seed, and this here is a damaged seed like this, eaten up by the
Yes.
insect. So it will what? Will it, if I drop it on water, will it float?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because its density has now reduced.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay then. Yeah. Name name two methods of traditional irrigation. Traditional irrigation.
Traditional irrigation,
Yeah.
chain pump,
Chain pump
and rahat.
and rahat.
Rahat.
All right. And name three modern methods.
Uh, Basin and
Yeah,
drip
basin
system,
system, basin
uh,
and
and a sprinkler system.
the sprinkler system. Okay then. All right. So what you need to do as an assignment, Riyaz, we took a look at the chapter in very brief. All right, there are a few points which we will discuss in next class. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
now tell me, what is threshing? What is threshing? You must have studied this in previous class, in previous lessons. What is
Uh,
threshing?
like uh, like separating the crops, like uh,
This is the
the
process
grain
of
seeds.
separating
Like this is the process of separating the
grain from
seeds,
chaff.
grain from chaff.
Grain from chaff.
Chaff.
This is a procedure of separating grain from chaff. Here you can
Grains
see
from
we
chaff.
have got a piece of chaff here. You see, basically, after harvesting, farmers assemble a bundle of shafts. You see,
Yes.
you must have seen them like these broom, like they look like brooms, but they are what?
Yes, sir.
Crops.
Crops.
They are bundled together like this, and they are beaten on a hard surface, and the seed falls off. Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
threshing is nothing but it is the process of separation of grain from this chaff. All
Yes, sir.
right. Okay then. So today's class ends here. And
Yes, sir.
tell me, when are your final exams going to be?
It's going to be in this December. Some like it's going
Final
to be in
exams in
December.
December.
Not final, sir. It's going to be PA2.
It's going to be P2 or
Yes, sir.
PA2.
PA2. Yes, sir.
Okay, PA2. And what's the syllabus for this PA2 in science?
Uh, it's I think 9, 10, 11, sir.
Riyaz, your internet connection is not stable. Please speak again.
Yes, sir. 9, 10, and 11
So
are coming in PA2, sir.
9, 10th, and 11th are coming in PA2.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what about
Yes, sir.
maths?
And in maths coming chapter number 6
6.
and 8,
Okay,
and I think 9, sir.
and 9. You
Not
sure
confirmed,
about?
sir. Like
Okay, okay.
no, sir.
You're
I'm
confirmed
not sure
about
about
science.
9.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we will do, we will be revising
Yes, sir.
these chapters as well. Okay.